Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. Today we are going to be going over the La Liga mid-season review, and oh my gosh, I have lots to talk about. I'm just gonna spoil a little bit. There's gonna be very minimal changes to what I'm gonna do to my original selection, but there's gonna be a lot of talking to be done about this league. So just as a refresher, guys, I had Real Madrid at the beginning of the season. I had Real Madrid in first, Atletico Madrid coming in second, Barcelona in third, Sevilla in fourth, Girona in fifth, and Real Sociedad in sixth. As I said, there's not gonna be much changing, but there is gonna be a lot of talking. Let's get to it. And starting off with this whole rant is gonna be, of course, Real Madrid. So Atletico de Madrid just today, a couple hours ago, a couple minutes ago, they just lost to Leganés 1-0, and that means that Real Madrid are only 1 point behind Atletico de Madrid. Real Madrid plays tomorrow as of the recording of this video. If Real Madrid win, they go up top. That doesn't mean that we've been playing incredibly well. I mean, Barcelona has been mediocre, Atletico Madrid has been inconsistent, and Real Madrid, I don't even want to talk about it. We've been absolutely horrendous, and I have absolutely no idea how we are potentially in first place in this league. Of course, as we all know, Real Madrid started the season very, very slowly. Mbappe started very slowly. Benny, Bellingham, the whole team started very slowly. On top of that, we had multiple injuries to our back line. But this is no excuse for the poor form that we are in right now. I mean, everybody called it before the season even started. Real Madrid needed to get new defenders because we were going to be playing Eder Militao. We weren't going to be playing Eder Militao 90 minutes in, 90 minutes out every weekend after a severe injury that he had suffered because he would get injured again. And oh and behold, look at that. Militao, with not signing any center backs, Militao continues to start every single game at the beginning of the season and gets injured again, and now he's out for another couple months because Florentino Perez didn't want to get a center back in. Then Tchouaméni stepped up to be the center back, and he was very poor. Then we thought that we had found Asensio, who, although he's very young and does a bunch of mistakes, he's an actual center back. But Ancelotti decides, oh no, I don't want to play him as a center back at all. I don't even want to see him in the team roster, and just benches him in favor of Tchouaméni. And now we are seeing the struggles, the repercussions. Absolutely dreadful. The poor team management that Florentino Perez has had. Nobody expected Carvajal to get injured, and nobody expected Lucas Vázquez to be this horrendous at left back. But we could foresee an issue when it came to the center back position, and not getting absolutely anybody to cover either Rudiger or Militao when they got injured, and only Vallejo, was a severe mistake. But what came good out of that is that Asensio is starting to play, and he looks pretty promising. Now, is Ancelotti going to continue to let him play or just bench him outright like he did a couple weeks ago? I don't know. If he continues to bench him, I don't know. I might call for Ancelotti to just leave, because you can't keep leaving youngsters in the bench for every single game, not trusting them at all. I understand that we're in a hard period right now, but every time that Asensio has stepped on the pitch, he has shown character, has shown dedication. He's been a pretty good center back for us. So why bench him? I'm just very confused. And the attack seems to be starting to work out. Mbappe's catching his form. But the defense and the midfield are just dreadfully bad. They're just dreadful. Yeah, I said midfield as well. Because ever since Toni Kroos left, you can see how we don't know how to control the game at all. All we try to do is, as soon as we get the ball, Bellingham or Valverde on Camavinga, they just run straight forward, up top, gives it to Vinicius or Mbappe or Rodrigo. They lose it because they also don't know how to calm down the game, which is for their attackers. But the midfield just continues to just either boom ball or try to take on every single defender like Valverde and Bellingham try to do, or just continue to go up top, and they continue to lose the balls, give poor passes, manage the game very poorly, costing us the whole midfield to just be absolutely tired by the 60th minute, which is understandable. And I applaud Valverde and Bellingham and Camavinga who run the entire game. But do you really need to run the entire game when you control the game, when you control the time, when you control the tempo of the game? No, you don't need to go to suffer through that. And this fast change of pace that seems like a ping pong ball does not help Lucas Vazquez, because Lucas Vazquez is not young. He's not a young player. He's 30, I believe 33, and on top of that, he's not a natural left back. So you're not helping Lucas Vazquez at all. And then on Tchouaméni plays on that side, who is also not a center back. You're not helping them at all when it comes to having to quickly come back and defend when we don't have the players to play that way, you know? And either we buy a center back that is able to do that, which I don't think there's anybody on the market that can do that. Maybe Nicolo Varela. But other than that, I can't think of anybody who can slow the pace down. Or Ancelotti has to teach Bellingham and Valverde and Camavinga how to slow the game down, how to calm down, how to look for passes and not force an attack when there doesn't need to be. And I think that's the best route to take, because I think Bellingham has what it takes to be that player. I think Valverde has what it takes to be that player. And I think Camavinga also has what it takes to be that player. I mean, they're incredible center mids that can, I believe they can adapt and just maybe definitely not be like a Toni Kroos or a Luka Modric, but bring that pace of the game down and just help the team not get tired as quickly. And who knows, maybe a player that can bring that to the team is Arda Güler, but Ancelotti doesn't even touch him at all. Same case with Endrick. Mbappe has been finding his form finally. He's playing incredibly well. That doesn't mean that you don't have to rest him up and not play Endrick a single minute. I mean, these guys just played last week against Celta Vigo. Yeah, it was an absolutely horrendous game. But when they came in, Endrick scored 2 goals. Maybe should have gotten a red card, but scored 2 goals. And Arda Güler scored 1 goal. I don't know what else do you want. Just give the kids a chance. Rotate the squad, because first of all, we're clearly dying out in the pitch every single time, because Vinny cannot be playing 90 minutes every single day, every other day pretty much. Mbappe can't be doing that, and Rodrigo can't be doing that, especially when the Champions League is about to come out. So Ancelotti has to learn how to rotate these players, and I know we have the squad to rotate. We don't have the defense to rotate, but we have the attack to rotate. So let's do the bare minimum and give Mbappe, Vinicius, and Rodrigo their fair share of rest. Let them rest for a bit. And there are clearly some incredibly bad issues that are going on in Real Madrid right now, like it is the left back position with Mendy not being in form at all, and the right back position who Lucas Vazquez, love Lucas Vazquez, gives his life for the badge, but he's not a left back. I mean, we're right back. He's not a right back, and we're really suffering. And I've heard a lot of Trent Alexander-Arnold, Alphonso Davies, and Trent is done. Now I don't think he's gonna come this year. I don't think he's gonna come out this winter transfer window, because we don't want to shell out a single bit of money, and we're gonna continue to suffer game in, game out, because we don't even have a center back. We have a center back, but Ancelotti don't want to play him. So if you don't want to play him, buy a new center back then. But we're not gonna do that. So all right, there it is. And we could bring up a player from the Cantera to play the right back position, since that is their position. But as I said, Ancelotti just doesn't trust in the youngsters. So we are a mess of a club right now, but somehow we are on the cusp of reaching first place. Now, I still think we're going to end up in first place. That doesn't mean we are going to be an incredible team. Absolutely not. So we'll keep Real Madrid right there. And I'll make a follow-up video talking about everything that has happened to Real Madrid so far, and because I haven't touched about the Barcelona games, and I want to dive more in depth about the whole Toni Kroos situation and lack of game in that midfield. All right, so next up is Atletico de Madrid, who, as I said, they just lost their game against Leganés. What a choke. They were on a great run. They had one. They were on a 8-game winning streak in La Liga and 15-game winning streak on all competitions. And they just blew it to Leganés. That's absolutely great for us, but this just shows how just inconsistent La Liga is. They have been the lowest scored on team in the world, but it's, well, in the top 4 leagues. But that's kind of what you expect. But Griezmann has also stepped up his game a lot, and that shows in Atletico Madrid stats, where in their games they were just completely dominating the opposition. More possession, way more shots. The other teams had barely any shots compared to them, but they just lost to Leganés. So it's such a bipolar league, because you saw what happened to Real Madrid, you saw what happened to Barcelona, who were also in an incredible streak, playing the best football in the world, and they just fell off for quite a while. So I don't know what is going to happen with this Atletico de Madrid, but as of now, I'll keep them in second place. And in third place, yes, I am going to place Barcelona in third place, keeping the same prediction, the same top 3 that I had from the initial prediction. And you might say, how? They're playing incredible football, they're an absolutely incredible team. Yes, but they also are incredibly inconsistent. I mean, they destroyed, at the beginning of the season, they destroyed Bayern Munich 4-1 and destroyed us 4-0. It was absolutely dreadful. And they were 6 points above Real Madrid for just 3 weeks. That's all that they could hold it on to. This incredible Barca could only hold on to it for 3 weeks. And I think it's because of how young this team is and doesn't know how to really keep that lead and keep that mentality of winning every single game, which they are completely capable of. I mean, this team is incredible. Pau Cubarsí, absolutely incredible center back. It makes me ask, could we have a center back like that in Real Madrid and Ancelotti just waste his potential? Maybe. I mean, Cubarsí is 17-year-old and he locked down Kylian Mbappe. Absolutely insane. You also have Lamine Yamal, who is also playing incredible football, and he's also just 17 years old. You have Rafinha, Rafinha and Lewandowski, who are the top scorers of the league, both of them. And Lamine Yamal and Rafinha are both the top assisters. Rafinha is just in an incredible form of his life right now. I mean, when Barcelona wants to play, I dare to say that they are even the best team in the world, better than Liverpool at this point. They just play so good and so effective. But when they lose, they go on a losing streak. They're so inconsistent, so bipolar. And I think it's because of the whole youngster thing. They're still alive in the Champions League. They are second, I believe they're in second place in the Champions League. So they are probably going to advance directly into the round of 16. So they actually might have an incredibly good fighting chance to win the Champions League. But La Liga just seems like it's too many games to just be completely consistent in for them to end up winning La Liga, which is fine because this team is still incredible. But Real Madrid and Atletico Madrid, I think they can just go into longer consistent runs. But as I said before, Atletico Madrid and Real Madrid are in the same time not even a competition for a Barcelona who is consistently good. Not even a competition. But Barcelona are not consistent enough, so I'll keep them in third place. Now in fourth place, I had Sevilla, who are currently in ninth place. They just won their game against Girona 2-1, and that bumped them up to ninth place. They were in 13th. Of course, there's teams ahead of them that have to play their games, but they won. That's pretty good for them, especially with this crisis that they're living. I mean, they've won 7, drawn 5, and lost 8. They've lost more games than what they've won. They are about 13 in the double digits points behind fourth place Athletic Bilbao for the Champions League, and they are 4 points roughly as the time of this recording of this video, 4 points off of a Europa League spot, which is not bad. They can still reach it, but I mean the teams that are ahead of them are pretty good in my opinion. So I would put them outside of the top 6. And Atletico Bilbao, who are currently in 4th place, they are 6 points clear of 5th place, and they are a couple points away from fighting for the title. They're, I believe, 2 points away from Barcelona in 3rd place, and 6 or 7 points away from Real Madrid and Atletico de Madrid. Other than that, they look pretty stable. You know, they have 10 games unbeaten in La Liga so far. They are pretty solid. One of the Williams is actually doing pretty well, which is not Nico Williams, it's Iñaki Williams with 5 assists and 5 goals. So I'd say they're in a pretty comfortable spot where, of course, they're not going to be able to fight for the title, but they're not really in a threat to losing that Champions League spot to a team that is in 5th and 6th and 7th place and so on. As of now, though, if they continue this form, I think they can easily make it into the Champions League, but who knows if they're going to continue to keep on with this form. So I'd put them in 4th place. Now in 5th place, I had Girona, who just lost to Sevilla, and I don't know why I put them in 5th place, because in hindsight, this team just got into the Champions League and lost every single one of their best players. I mean, they lost Savinho, what's his name, their striker who went to Roma. They lost Alex Garcia, I believe, the one that went to Leverkusen. They lost these incredible players, and they weren't really able to buy incredible players back, which is a very big struggle that faces every single team in the world, like Newcastle at this time, Aston Villa, even though they're doing pretty good in the Champions League. Aston Villa at one point, I mean, we saw that with Bologna this season, who weren't able to even compete at all. I mean, I think they're in like last place in the Champions League because they lost every single one of their great players that they had last season. And it's very sad to see a team that played so well last season to just not even be a competition. But as of now, they are in 8th place, and they are not far off from the Europa League spots. They're still trying to reach the Europa League spots, and I hope they reach them. They're about 3 points away at the time of this recording, but of course that could shift since with this loss to Sevilla. Hopefully it doesn't, and I hope I see them in the Europa League spots. And another team that I had alongside with Girona was Real Sociedad, who is also competing for those Europa League spots. They're actually tied right now in points with Girona, and they are currently in 7th place, just 2 points away from Villarreal and Mallorca, who are those 2 teams that are in the Europa League spots. And Real Sociedad and Girona are both tied in points, so both of them are about 2 points, 3 points away from being in Europa League. But of course, Girona just lost their game. Maybe that puts them a bit further by the time this video goes out. So there is 4 teams that are really closely competing to get those Europa League spots. And honestly, it's a toss-up between Villarreal, Mallorca, Girona, and Real Sociedad because their records are super similar, very similar in points, very similar in form. So it's a toss-up between those 4 teams. But I'll stick with my Girona and Real Sociedad positioning just because I had them in my initial prediction, and just because I really like Girona and I like Real Sociedad's mascot, the little ball thing with the crown. It's pretty cute. So all in all, the only changes that I made to my original prediction was the dropping of Sevilla and putting in Athletic Bilbao. So let's go over it. So it was Real Madrid in first, Atletico Madrid second, Barcelona in third, Athletic Bilbao in fourth, and Girona in fifth, with Real Sociedad coming in 6th place. So I hope you guys enjoyed this mid-season La Liga review. I will be doing a video going more in depth into the Real Madrid issues, and of course I'll make another video with the top 4s of the Bundesliga and the Serie A. Let me know what your predictions are in the comment section, and if you disagree or agree with any of my points that I made. And take care, guys. Peace out.